It's me, Christine, your favorite tall black actress, and I am in the dressing room for FELA on Broadway, and I'm here talking to Lauren De Veaux. She is a dancer, singer, actress, starring in the show, one of the many talented women in this show. So we're going to just talk to her a bit, get some feedback from her, and hear some of her stories, and hopefully she can inspire you. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Lauren De Veaux, and I'm a tall black actress.
Hey Lauren, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Give my blog just a little taste on where you're from,
Okay.
what's your background, and just tell us about yourself.
Okay. Again, I'm Lauren De Veaux, originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yes, in the South. Love the South.
Hey, I'm from Atlanta. Well, I live in Atlanta, so that's no
Oh,
problem.
you're not from Atlanta?
No, I'm from the Bronx.
Oh, okay, but you understand.
I'm a Georgia Peach now.
Right. You understand. I love the South. I've been dancing since I was 5. Mostly, actually, only ballet. Being from Chattanooga is a little bit better now, but everything was very black and white. You know, I didn't really grow up with a lot of Asian friends or Latino friends. Like, I didn't really learn much about those cultures until I moved out of Chattanooga. So because of that, I really didn't have a lot of African dance experience. Really, I didn't really have access to taking African dance classes. It was really about ballet and probably some modern dance, but I didn't really know about that. So essentially, only ballet from the age of 5 to the age of 18. Pretty much only ballet. I went to Alabama School of Fine Arts in Birmingham, Alabama. A really great school, but again, classical dance, classical everything, classical theater, classical music, classical dance. What else is there in the arts? Everything classical.
Right.
But my teachers were amazing. My teachers in high school, Dame Sonia Rova and Tor Satowski. Dame Sonia Rova, she actually danced with Rudolph Nureyev. So just very, very strict, but very, very well disciplined, and taught me a lot of discipline as well. And then I graduated from high school, and I was very burnt out, actually.
From dancing?
From dancing.
Wow,
I was
okay.
burnt out from dancing. And I stopped dancing, actually, and I went to Howard University, and I got a degree in electrical engineering.
Okay, what did you think you were about to do in engineering? What was the...
I had no idea.
It sounds good, though. You have to be smart to get a degree in engineering.
Well, you know, my parents are teachers.
Okay.
So, like, my family's big on education, public education. Honestly, you know, they're public school teachers, and they believe in really good education. Unfortunately, some cities don't have really good public education, but you know, we can get better at that. But my parents are teachers, so I couldn't get in trouble. You know, I knew where my first grade teacher lived. She knew where I lived. You know, like, up until I finished high school. You know, like, that's just how it was. And I was just good at math and science. I love math and science, and then Howard came. I think some other schools came to my school to recruit, and I got money from Howard, so I went to Howard.
Okay.
And, it was actually honestly, it was a really good experience because, like I said, my world was very black and white, and growing up, because a lot of times I was the only black girl in dance.
Wow.
You know, and graduating my high school, there were only 200 students in the school. There were 28 graduating students in my class, and out of, 10 of us were dance, I believe, and I was the only black girl in dance graduating from my school. You know, and it's like I didn't really think much about it because I have very strong family support, and
that's just what it was there.
That's just what it was.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I don't know, I didn't think anything of it, you know, but kind of when I look back now and realize, like, oh, you know, Dance Theater Harlem is a little different from Pacific Northwest Ballet. You know, like, they wear flesh-colored tights for our flesh.
Right. Not the pink. Not the pink ones.
You know, and they wear flesh-colored, like our flesh-colored point shoes. You know, so it's interesting, kind of thinking about things that I went through, and just went through them. You know, and then how I think some people didn't even realize they weren't even thinking twice about it either. And I remember one time I did the show, La Bayadere, which is a beautiful ballet, and the dancers, the women were like spirits. We're actually like East Indian temple dancers, but you're supposed to look like a ghost. And so the makeup.
Was there some white powder?
You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with this, right? So white powder on black skin, makes us look kind of green or something. You know what I mean? Like and so it was just an interesting thing. Like, wow, just not having anyone there
to say this isn't right.
To say it's not right, or I ended up not using that, but it was just they didn't know what else to do.
Right. So you get to Howard, and you have this whole, you got, of course, tons more black people, but just being exposed to different things.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like FELA is like the story of between Sandra Isidore and FELA. I feel like I've lived this story. So kind of. FELA was kind of really being from a middle-class family in Nigeria. He wasn't from a poor family. His family was well-educated. He has a family of doctors and lawyers and educators and, so very kind of a similar background. But, getting to Howard and finding out so much about history as far as what in the African diaspora, so not just in America, but in Africa, like what was going on, and really being able to be involved in that. I think my family took care of me very well, and they fought for what they believed in and what they needed to do. But I think sometimes, we forget everything they've already gone through, and we sometimes still need to experience some of that,
right?
And really understand that experience.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Oh, you're my height.
5'9".
I just, for the years, when people see me out, I'm like, especially when I have on heels, they're like, you're like 6 foot. What are you? Oh no, you're 5'11". You gotta at least be, And I actually went to the doctor the other day, and I was like, I was dead on 175, centimeters or whatever,
right.
And I was like, 5'9" exactly.
Right.
Because you look taller too, to me.
And it's so funny because a lot of people come to the show and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you look 8 feet tall or something." I'm like, "No, I'm just 5'9", and I'm actually short for my family."
Really?
Like, yeah, I have aunts and cousins who are like 5'11", 6 feet tall.
That's nice.
I mean, uncles 6'4", 6'5", so I love being tall.
Me too. I always grew up being. That's the thing. My dad's 6'5", and the women in my family are they're like 5'8" and up.
Okay.
But I always loved being tall, and what happened was the reason to started the blog, because as I've gotten deeper into the entertainment industry and with more of a focus on film and even theater, it started I was like, the leading men were shorter, and like they were like, it just doesn't look right, and I was like, this is starting to piss me off, and that's kind of why I just started this blog. Can you give me an example? Has there ever been a time either in dance or in your auditions or theater where you felt that your height affected you getting a part, whether it was for the good or for the bad?
Yes, actually, we could go back to high school.
Really? Okay.
And because I've been pretty much the same height since high school, maybe just a couple inches shorter. But even in high school, it was definitely, putting on point shoes is going to make you
gigantuous,
2-3 inches taller. You know what I mean? And so for a guy really needs to be taller, 3 or 4 or 5 inches taller than me, already. And so a lot of times, maybe I didn't get that pas de deux, or I had to kind of wait, for something else, for a different part in some way. I'm trying to think,